Item E, adopt a resolution approving participation in a county-wide neighborhood stabilization program to acquire and rehabilitate vacant foreclosed properties for resale to qualified home buyers and allocating $280,000 in matching funds from the below market rate in lieu fee fund. Mr. Sullivan.
Good evening, Honorable Vice Mayor, City Council members. The federal government established the Neighborhood Stabilization Program, which is called NSP2, in response to the national foreclosure crisis and as part of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. The San Mateo County Department of Housing has submitted an application to HUD for $8.9 million in NSP2 funds on behalf of local cities and nonprofit agencies. If the application is successful, NSP2 funds would be used for the rehabilitation, for the acquisition, rehabilitation, and resale of 108 foreclosed homes in the county over a 3-year period. This item is on an expedited track because the entire NSP application process has had a very short time frame. The NOFA came out at the beginning of May, and the application was due in the middle of July. San Bruno was invited to participate at a late stage in the application process, and staff first attended a meeting related to NSP2 in early July. HUD has identified 11 census tracts in San Mateo County with relatively high foreclosure rates that would qualify to receive NSP2 funds. One of those census tracts is located in San Bruno. It is also the location of the Shelter Creek condominium complex, which includes over 1,200 condominium units. And staff has determined that the great majority of foreclosures within the census tract are in the Shelter Creek complex. If the application is successful, the County Department of Housing proposes to form a collaborative of cities and nonprofits to carry out the program, with the county as the lead agency. Currently, the collaborative partners include the County Habitat for Humanity, the cities of Daly City, East Palo Alto, South San Francisco, and Menlo Park, and the nonprofits Heart and Rebuilding Together. If San Bruno chooses to participate in the countywide effort, NSP2 funds would be used to provide down payment assistance and rehabilitation assistance to qualified home buyers for foreclosed condominiums at Shelter Creek. The County Department of Housing has expressed an interest in administering the NSP2 program in San Bruno based on their experience with the county's first-time homebuyer program and the county's rehabilitation program. The specific terms and guidelines for the program will be worked out when and if the county's application is successful. The various members of the collaborative will need to develop and agree to program guidelines, including how funds will be spent, loan and grant amounts and terms, and repayment arrangements. These guidelines would be specific to each participating jurisdiction. The guidelines and specific rules for use of funds will be presented to the City Council for consideration prior to any expenditure of NSP2 or city funds in San Bruno. San Bruno would benefit from participation in the program by gaining access to experience and resources that aren't available locally. The program represents an opportunity to create permanent affordable housing in San Bruno and would help the city in meeting its affordable housing goals. The NSP2 program requires a commitment of local matching funds. Staff recommends that the city commit $280,000 to the program as San Bruno's match, which will leverage about an equal amount of NSP2 funds. The county estimates that the average cost per property for rehabilitation and acquisition and resale to be about $100,000, potentially creating about 5 new affordable housing units in San Bruno with long-term deed restrictions. The city has 2 sources of affordable housing funds. One is redevelopment low and moderate income housing funds, and the other is the BMR in lieu fee fund. Staff recommends using the in lieu fee funds because, unlike redevelopment funds, the BMR funds can be spent anywhere in the city, and the BMR fund is intended to assist the city in creating affordable housing without a significant financial impact. The BMR in lieu fee fund has a balance of about $2.6 million, so there is money available there. This would be the first affordable housing produced as a result of the city's BMR ordinance. Finally, I would like to emphasize that no city or NSP funds would be spent in San Bruno without the approval of the City Council, and all funds committed by the city would be spent in San Bruno. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions or action?
Through the chair? Is there a reason we're only doing 240,000 since we have that much
Yeah,
money in lieu funds? Sorry, 280.
There are five, about five participating jurisdictions that are contributing funds. And the 280,000 represents the sort of the gap in order for the county to get the maximum amount in NSP2 funds. So if by putting in any more, we don't really get any benefit from.
We don't match.
Adding. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or action?
So 280,000, up to 280,000, and then we have a match of a.
Yeah, it would be the match would be about 280,000.
So about
It's a little
five.
complicated.
So about five
Yes,
properties.
about 500 and a half. Yeah.
No problems. We should use that money. I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Ruane.
Aye.